Now we know what is the meaning of cloud computing. Today we are going to basically sign up with Google Cloud and we will see how easy it is to deploy some of our resources on the cloud. So let's get started. What are the prerequisites to sign up with Google Cloud? Obviously a Google account. That's nothing but your Gmail account. So I have already logged in with my Gmail account. And one more thing, you will need a credit card. So let me search for GCP free tier in Google. And you can click on the first link in the search and it will show what are the things are free and so on. We are not wasting our time. Let's click on get started for free. It will open up this one. It will ask you for few details. So my country is definitely India. Agree and continue. Basically we need to create one payment profile for Google Cloud and definitely we have this $300 credit for 90 days. After that it will be pay as you go. That means we'll be paying whatever services we are using after 90 days basically. So let's click on this create new payment profile. So basically you can choose different options here in the payment profile, whether it's an organization or individual. I'll be going with individual and you need to provide your legal names and other things. So I'll be providing my original name. So after you provide your address and other details, click on create. Now my payment profile is showing over here. You need to basically add your payment method, which is nothing but a credit card, and let's see what are the options available. I've not signed up for I think long time now. So let's click on this plus icon. Oh, here you have credit or debit card and net banking. That's cool. So let's click on the first one if you have debit or credit card. I'll stop the recording here basically and I'll enter the card detail and I'll click on save card. And I have entered my credit card details. You can use debit card as well. Then click on start free. And once you get this pop-up, click on verify. And I'll be putting my OTP over here, which I will be receiving on my phone. Yeah, I have entered my OTP and submit. It will take little bit time here to verify it. It might ask you for few more details. What describes our need basically. Maybe I can choose business idea or startup idea. Click on next. What brought myself to Google Cloud? Okay. Learn more or explore maybe. Next. What are you interested in Google Cloud? Maybe website, storage backup, and whatever you feel comfortable with. Maybe these three. Click next. What best describes your role? Okay. Maybe engineer developer. And let's click on done. As you see on my home screen of Google Cloud, that is showing me I have a free credit and I need to activate that. So click on this activate full account. Keep your cloud running uninterrupted. That means once your credit is over, that will start a billing on your credit card. And after that you can click on activate. All done. Continue. Let me give you an overview of Google Cloud Console now. Next time if you want to launch this, how will you launch that? You can, maybe I'll close this window for now. What I'll do, I'll open up. So I'll just type in console.cloud.google.com and the same page will be showing over here. Now, what are the things on my console? At the left top corner, I see a hamburger menu. If I click on that, I'll see many different options. Don't get confused right away. So I'll be explaining step by step once we move ahead with our playlist. And after that, I have that Google Cloud logo. Then we have your project. Once you sign up, a default project will be created. It looks like my first project. It will have one unique identifier or ID, and this ID will be basically globally unique. And you can obviously create new projects as you see on the top right corner, new project. We'll be talking about project and other things much more in detail later onwards. Let's click on cancel now. Then you have the Gemini AI. Oh, before that I have the search window. I can search for anything like VPC, anything like that. Here we have one button which is Cloud Shell. We'll be talking about that as well. We have notifications. Whatever we do, all the notifications will be shown up here. Then we have the help button. You can go for documentation, live support or anything like that. Then we have, you can manage your payment account, billing and other things. And obviously this is our Google account. Now let's do one thing very quickly. Let's check if any network is created by default. So for that I can search for VPC. So I can click from here as well, or I can go into this hamburger menu. I can go into this VPC networks and then click on VPC networks. And once you go there, it might show data cannot be loaded. That's fine. Click on continue. In order to use the network, we have to enable Compute Engine API. In Google Cloud, everything is API based. That means if you want to use any service, maybe a storage or maybe any other database for that matter, you have to enable that API first. Obviously, if you go to that option, it will prompt you for that, as we have seen this Compute API. This Compute API, you can go for the documentation, other things, you can see the related products. Once it is enabled, it will basically create a default network on our Google Cloud project, and we can deploy our virtual machine or server on the cloud. It will take little bit of time. Now as we see, the API enablement was successful and we see a default network has been created on our project. Okay, now our network is ready. We can basically create our own virtual machine. For that, what I'll do, I'll click on this hamburger menu. I'll go to Compute Engine. Compute Engine is the name of virtual machines on Google Cloud. Then I'll be clicking on this VM instances. At the right hand panel, we will be getting this tutorial. I'll be closing that. Let's click on Create Instance button now. Once you click on that, you will get basically a wizard to fill in many things. First of all, I'll change the name, maybe Thus Learning Web 1, anything like that. You can choose your region. Regions means the geographical location. If you check the America, here are the options. We can go for Europe or maybe Asia. Let me take Mumbai, maybe. And zone, let it be any. And let the other settings be default, that's fine. Let's click on the left side menu and let's choose our machine type. And here we will get many different options. We'll be going with general purpose now. And the general purpose is selected with E2 series. And maybe we can take a small one. We have our credit. And whenever you change this, the estimated monthly cost will be shown over at the right side. And let the other things be default. On the left panel again, we'll be choosing our operating system. Once you click on OS and storage, then we'll be clicking on this change button. Instead of Debian, basically I'll be taking Ubuntu. So I'm taking Ubuntu, whatever version you feel, and 20.04 LTS, that's fine. And size, this is the size of your disk on the virtual machine, 10 GB or maybe let's make it 20 GB just for test. And click on select. Now we'll see our image has been changed. We do not need any backup plan for now, anything like that. And networking, obviously, the default network which was created has been taken. Here, we'll be having one internal IP address in the network and we can have one external IP address. So for now, let it be default. And let me choose the standard tier for now. That's all. We can click on done. And I think we are almost ready to go. We can check our cost, what it is coming. For the 2 vCPU and 2 GB memory, it is coming $14 or something. Then we have the disk of 20 GB and total will be around this one. Let's click on create. It will take little bit of time to create that Ubuntu machine. Now the machine is ready. You'll see this green, and green means that's good. Here you will get 2 IP addresses. One is internal IP, which is only reachable inside the Google network, which got created by default. And this is the external IP, which is for the public. And if we take this one, we can click on this little copy button. And if we go over there, basically it will not work right now. What we will do, we'll click on this SSH button directly over there, as we see. Let's click on SSH. And this is one cool thing about Google Cloud. We can take the CLI console directly from browser. We do not need putty or anything like that. I'll be clicking on authorize. And here we go. We are logged in. Let me clear my screen and let me ping google.com. That's working fine. Usual stuff, sudo, and let me make it little bit bigger maybe. Font size is larger now. Sudo apt update. Basically we are updating the repository on Ubuntu machine. That's done. Now what we'll do, let me clear again. Sudo apt install Apache 2. Apache is basically one web server kind of a thing. We can install it on our virtual machine and we can basically deploy our website, which we are going to do now. Enter Y and hit enter, and now it is installed. And let us check sudo service apache 2 status, and the status is running, which is good. If we take the public IP again or the external IP, and if we try, basically again that will not work. What we need to do in order to perfectly connect our website from the outside world, I'll go to the VPC network once again, and now we will be clicking on firewall, or we can search for that in the search bar as well. That works pretty good. I'll be clicking on the second button at the top, create firewall rule, allow HTTP, something like that. Any description, whatever you like. Logging I do not need right away, and it will be ingress, that means outside world to our VM. Egress means from our VM to the outside world. Obviously we'll be talking about firewalls later onwards, and obviously we'll be allowing that. And I'll be clicking all instances in the network for now, which is not a great practice. In the source range, what I'll specify basically 0.04 times 0 / 0. That means the entire range in the world, if you specify like this. And I will be specifying only one port, which should be TCP, and I'll be putting 80. 80 is basically your HTTP port, and let's click on create. And as I have selected all instances in the network, basically our instance will also get that particular firewall inclusion. Now this is done. Let's go to Compute Engine once again and VM instances. Let's take this public IP now. And once you paste in and hit enter in your browser, we'll see the Ubuntu logo, and basically it is running the Apache 2, which is the default HTML page from the server. What we can do, let's go into the SSH again, clear my screen. What I'll do, I'll basically edit one HTML file, which we are seeing right away in this screen. We'll be using nano/var/www, and that is HTML. Let me go to that directory first and let me check. And here is our file. And if we open it with, or maybe cat this file index.html, we'll see whatever we see on that web page is written over here. We can basically update this one. In order to do that, what I'll do, I'll basically remove this file first. I need to put sudo. File is gone. You can use any editor like vi or anything like that. I'll be using nano, sudo nano index.html. So I want to print this on my website. Let me click on save, exit out of it, ls sudo service apache 2 restart. I'll be basically restarting the Apache service in order to take effect from these changes. It's not necessarily needed. And let's go to our web page now, and let me hit refresh from the browser. And here we go. We have our own website running on Google Cloud. And if you have your own website ready, written in HTML, JavaScript and CSS, you can basically run it on the Apache server. And as you know, we are on the cloud and we pay for whatever we use. That means if we do not stop it, it is going to take money. As of now, we have our free credit, but in actual scenario, when the credit period is over, we will be getting charged. So you can click on stop, or whenever you are done, you can click on more actions and you can definitely delete that resource in order to save your cost. Then let's click on delete. And it is saying it is going to delete the server and the disk associated with that, and that's fine. Delete. Always make sure once you have done your testings, and if you do not need that resource later onwards, you just delete that. And once that is finished, basically this notification will be showing that completed. That's all for this video. From later video onwards, we'll discuss all the concepts, slowly starting with maybe the network, then firewall and other things. Stay tuned. Thank you.